How's it, Keshav? Bad luck in not getting a game in today, I suppose. And I'm interested in your conversations after the last game. I know there were some unusual circumstances, but what was the plan to come back from a beating like that in today's game?
Yeah, obviously it wasn't ideal after putting in such a spectacular performance with the bat in the first ODI, but I think our ODI batting unit has done relatively well in the last 18 months and been consistent. So, you sort of give and take that and understand that it was bound to happen, but I think the boys understood where we went wrong and sort of showed some rectification of it today.
Thanks, Telford. For those, then Ken.
Hi, Keshav. Keshav, the next one-day cricket you play from here, all of it will be directed at the World Cup Super League. Is there anything that you can take from this into those, what I suppose be must-win games, or anything you still think needs sorted out before you potentially have to go to a qualifier?
Yeah, I think if you looked at the first ODI, it's probably our more clinical performance in the last 18 months. And I think if we just can replicate our sort of mindset towards how we approach the games, and the adaptation of the wicket was the most crucial thing. So I think if we keep building on the things that we've done, I think we should be okay. But obviously it's a tough schedule ahead in terms of the countries that we have to play for points, but we'll take that in our stride as it comes.
Thanks for those. Ken, then Hines.
Thanks, Lucy. How's Keshav? I'm just interested in the thinking around the toss and batting first today.
Yeah, obviously overhead conditions told you a different story, but just looking at the wicket, it looked quite dry, and we felt with the two spinners in our team that we sort of would allow the wicket to deteriorate, and hopefully we could have utilised that in the second innings, similar to what happened in Durham.
Thanks, Ken. Hyatt.
Hi, Kesh. Hope you're well. Almost like Telford dealing a bit in hypotheticals here, so apologies. Just in terms of Quinny's innings, firstly, how sublime was it to watch, almost as an observer, because he looked in complete control after a testing start? And just secondly, given the context of the game, how encouraging was it to see that in this must-win game, even though it rained, that one of your senior players stood up and, led the line almost?
Yeah, I think Quinny is probably back to his best. The skill factor that he possesses is probably some of the best in the world, if not one of the best in the world. But yeah, I think it's really encouraging to see that one of the senior players put their hand up in such a crucial way. Again, it would have been lovely to have gone on and seen the outcome of the game, because I think it would have been a spectacular end to what's been a really thrilling and wonderful series so far. But just happy that Quinny's found his form again, and hopefully he can replicate that throughout the rest of his career, hopefully.
Thanks, Hines. Abuyile, then Keenan.
Hi, Keshav. Just touching on what you just said about Quinny now. Obviously, when going into this third final game, what was sort of the message, especially in the changing room to the batters? Obviously after the second ODI didn't really go well. What was the message going into this game? Even though it rained, but it was a great batting display. What was the message said?
Yeah, I think the boys were really disappointed. It's not ideal from the second ODI, but I think the main thing was sticking to our blueprint and just adapting to the conditions and giving good communication to the batters to come. And I thought, obviously, Quinny being Quinny, he made it look a lot easier than it was out there. But I think the feedback that he gave to the batters coming in was also really good and allowed them to settle in. So yeah, I think it's just making sure that we're adhering to our blueprint at all times and not falling back into our slums.
Thanks. We'll go Keenan. And then if there's anybody else that would like to ask a question as we look to wrap up the press conference.
Hi, Kesh. I was just wondering, in terms of the weather, how disappointing is it? The first game was that Durham was extremely hot, and the second game was restricted to 29 over the side, and then the third game now banned. Like, how frustrating is it for to play in such conditions?
Yeah, obviously the rain's beyond our control. Can't really comment too much on that, but yeah, I guess we turned up here to play cricket. It's unfortunate, so a little bit frustrating, but I suppose we can only control what we can.
Very, very well played. I'm interested to know whether the fact that you're no longer playing Test cricket has helped your form in the white ball formats. You've had a hell of a run of form, since December. Do you think not having to bother with Test cricket has helped that?
I don't think so. I'm not too sure, to be honest. I haven't really thought about it. I think I've always been a decent white ball player anyway. So I don't know if it is that. So yeah, I haven't really looked into it. So I don't think so at this moment.
Thanks, Telford. We're going to go Hines, then Ken, then Fidos.
Hi, Quinton. Very well played. Congrats. I know you're a guy that doesn't necessarily dwell too much on these type of things, but I know you missed out perhaps on a century, but was that one of the most satisfying innings you've played in some time? I mean, it just seems that you just timed the ball so well, pierced the gaps, and without almost like an inkling of, I always want to say, overly aggressive intent. Was that quite satisfying?
Yeah, I think it's obviously nice getting out there, scoring runs for the guys. Obviously, we've had a little bit of time off from our last series, so it was nice just to get out and spend some time in the middle. It's always satisfying, whether I'm going at a high striker or a low striker, as long as I can just help out the team, it's always satisfying, I guess.
Thanks, Heinz. Ken?
How's it, Quinny? Lovely knock, well done. Just in terms of satisfaction, I know you were going great guns towards the end of your innings, 92 of 76, but it seemed at the start that England actually bowled really well and there was a bit in that pitch. How pleased were you that, it wasn't the easiest of starts for you, but you showed really good judgment in managing to get through that and just gave yourself the time to actually then dominate the bowlers?
Yeah, obviously there was a bit of swing, there was a bit of movement in the wicket, so it's just a matter of just soaking up the pressure. Obviously, 50 overs is a long time to bat, so obviously was able to do that, but still remain strong in my positions in what I wanted to get done. So still try and put away the bad balls while having a strong defence. That was just the game plan. Just keep the ball on the floor for as long as we can. Because obviously on this outfield looks like there was a lot of value for shots here, so that was just the plan out there.
Thanks, Ken, for those, and then we'll see if there's anyone on the floor before we hand over to Zahir.
Hi, Connie, well batted. Connie, can you talk to us a little bit about your own workload and how you've thought about that? Obviously, with Ben Stokes retiring, that's sort of a focus point now, and I know you said maybe you haven't thought about if not playing Test cricket has helped you, but is it just freed up your calendar, or how are you feeling about the amount of cricket that you play?
To be honest, no, it hasn't freed up my calendar, or at least for not this year. I've been roped in to play a couple of leagues, so to think about where I need to be, where I want to be in my career. So, it's as long as I can do it at my own pace, I'm happy.
Thanks for those. We'll take some from the floor, Dean.
As a left-hander, what difference does it make to you facing up against three left-arm seamers in one team? It's obviously quite an unusual setup. Is that a more tricky prospect, or does it actually help you get used to it and then put in a performance like that?
No, it is tricky. I must be honest. I don't think I've ever played against a team that's played three left-arm seamers swinging it around. But in saying that, before the series, we kind of thought that might happen. So obviously we did some preparation for it. So I wasn't caught off guard or anything. So yeah, it is strange. I'm so used to facing the right-hand bowlers. Obviously, it's more of a comfort thing because you're so used to it over the years, and to come face three left-arm seamers swinging around with good skills. So yeah, I mean, we kind of foresee it happening, and then that's why we prepared for it.
Hi, just wondering on the Ben Stokes retirement as well, and you're obviously deciding to go the other way around. Are you actually, with a bit of time and perspective, how do you feel about that decision that you made now? And do you think that that age of players playing all formats internationally is kind of coming to an end?
Yeah, I think it's going to start being tough for players. Look, 3 formats is a lot, especially. But it looks like more games are happening over the calendar years. But look, I think players need to individually, if they feel they can do it, then happy with them. Then obviously some decisions, some guys need to take into their own hands. Sometimes, longer periods need to be off. So obviously, yeah, I think it's just a personal decision. For me, I'm still happy where I am. Obviously, Stokes, it's just happened, so I don't know the answer to that. But yeah, I think it is coming to a time where, especially, I think you're still young, still in your career. I still think you need to play all 3 formats, get through your career, get through some things that you need to get done in your career. I think it starts getting harder the older you start getting. The body doesn't quite cooperate anymore like it used to. So, and it's just a bit of a management thing in order for us to prolong our careers.
Thank you. We'll take one more from the floor before we round off the press con with Zahir.
Just wondering that you were talking about playing all three formats, and recently in past few weeks there has been a lot of talk about 50-over format and its future. Do you see that current 50-over? Are you currently happy with the current format of the 50-over cricket, or do you think that we need to make some changes to make it more attractive for the crowd?
No, I don't think so. I think. Look, I want to say that we need to play more games, but I don't see where. There's a bit of a grey area with it because obviously we can't play so much cricket, but we need to. It doesn't help. I think we're only going to play 9 ODIs in 1 year, so it doesn't. There's a bit of a grey area to it. So I think that's all it needs. I think the game is doing well for itself at the moment. The way players are going about it, from a batting to a bowling competitiveness, I think. There's obviously a future of it. We still got World Cups that we want to play. A lot of us still want to win 50-over World Cups. So there's still a lot to play for. But like I said, there's a bit of a grey area. I'm just a cricketer. I'm not an administrator, so it's not really my decision.
Thanks. Thank you very much. So here we'll round off Quinny's press conference with yourself.
Hi, Quinny. Just in terms of you only playing white ball cricket, when you come into the side, do you feel that you're going to make an impact because you're only there for a limited time, and also just looking forward to the T20 World Cup. Is this good prep with what's coming up ahead?
I think with any player, one former player, or you play all three, they're always trying to make an impact. It doesn't matter how many games you play. I think that's what we're here for. That's what we're trying to do every game. So it doesn't matter how many formats you play. And yeah, obviously it's key for us to play these games. In thinking there's a T20 World Cup this year, but there's also a 50-over World Cup next year. So things are happening quickly. So we'll just take it step by step. Obviously, this series was our main focus was to play well as a team, sort out 1 or 2 things. Then now it's on to T20s where we need to prepare and obviously look closer in time with the T20 World Cup. So it's always moving. It's not a stagnant things that happen, it's always moving because we always need to prepare for World Cups. So yeah.